Revelation 680. From the 23rd of November 1938. Fate of the hardened souls in the hereafter. Teachings of spiritual friends. Sympathy of the soul with writings. The souls of those who have left the earthly valley without having established the connection with the Heavenly Father, are in dire straits. They know neither their way out nor the way in, and torment themselves with self-reproaches and bad thoughts. They rebel against their fate and do not want to admit to themselves that they themselves are responsible for this sad state. The more devotedly the soul submits to its state of suffering, the sooner is its possibility for liberation, for the slightest good impulse is perceived by the higher spirit beings, and they now seek to bring relief to the soul by giving it the necessary indications for the improvement of its situation. And again it is only up to the goodwill of the suffering soul to make use of these admonitions and hints. However, where one's own will is too strong, the efforts of these spiritual friends willing to love and help will also be in vain, and the soul will fall back into its old oppressive state and will not be able to free itself from it for a long time, since it still fights against everything good and noble, which it does not recognize as such in its obduracy. Whoever stays in the darkest night will be able to understand the fate of these poor people. Fear and horror torment them, and their minds darken to the point of unbearability. They seek light and cannot find it. The earth's nearness holds them back, and they stay predominantly there, where they lived in the earthly life, because they hope the first for help, where those close to them live, because often they are also still without realization that they have left the earth long ago. They are only bittered that all their efforts are without success and the people do not respect their need, and only after a long time they realize the impossibility of their desire. And who now draws the right use from this knowledge? Who goes into himself and takes the firm resolution to do everything to be freed from the unhappy state, he will also soon get to know the ways and means, by instruction of the otherworldly spirit friends or also by participation in the teachings, which are offered from the hereafter to the earthly children, who are believing and of good will. If the soul has discovered such a connection, it is no longer to be removed from the proximity of such earthly children. It accepts all teachings with true ravenous hunger and is now grateful for the instruction, which it takes advantage of in every way. And so it are truly blessed hours for innumerable souls in the hereafter when you devote yourself to your spiritual work. For they suffer so unspeakably without your help, and the way to the light is much more difficult for them to reach. But so they can make up infinitely much in a short time for what they neglected in earthly life through their own fault, and they become more and more knowledgeable and follow all admonitions most eagerly. The more they realize that they themselves have it in their hands to make their state a bearable one and later an exceedingly happy one. And so they, too, are only ever anxious to make use of all the teachings which are transmitted to you from the beyond, and their concern is likewise for your inner state of soul and your will, which can also bring them salvation from their sufferings and agonies. Amen.